Yes, hello and welcome to today's stream here in the streets of Belasco as the world makes it into day 4 of this nearly global heatwave. We see the Pessima Sprint Cup making its way to the streets, well not streets, to the racetrack of Belasco Motorsports Park. The 2.7 mile circuit here in West Coast USA is home to many a disagreement with the barriers of yesteryear. And we'll see the Pessima Sprint Cup drivers making their way around the track today as we see Janus just making his way across the gravel, having a lot of issues at the inverse. Corkscrew, let's have a quick look at Kayan then, a new driver. I think their first race today. I don't remember seeing them before today at the very least. We will hope to see them being at the front. Yes, we have a lovely little set of races then. We have a 2-lap qualifying session followed by 2 15-minute races, and they should all start pretty soon. Hopefully we can get that going pretty well. The racetrack here has a few variations. The only one that BeamGP uses is the long one, but if we ride on board as we make our way to turn 1, you can also use a little shortcut over there to do a really short circuit. The club layout that one is. But no, we like a challenge here in BeamGP as we have a look at a Happy Dolphin coming to get past Alonso. The massive hill right here is one of the feature attractions of the circuit. These Pessima cars are very easy to break the oil tank here around this track. We've had a lot of reports from drivers having to find the lines which doesn't break the car, as we see Alonso just absolutely eating the barrier. Hopefully we get qualifying starting soon. Should be going on now. Is there an announcement I'm missing? I'm not seeing that I'm missing anything. The server has shut down. We'll be back after this little break. just realised after the break I never enabled my microphone again, so apologies about that, everyone. As I said before, let's do a little roundup. Yeah, we'll bring the upcoming graphic back up. So the upcoming events that we have this week, we have tomorrow the Super Formula Lights around the Yas Marina circuit. That's going to be a pretty fun race. On Saturday then, at 5:30 UK time, we have the F3s around the Red Bull Ring. Always exciting races around there. About a couple hours after that, we have the 60 minutes of the Glen at Watkins Glen, a pretty exciting race. But what's more exciting is the return to ranked races. Yep, that's right. For the first time in 3 to 4 months since we had the issue with BeamGP where they got hacked and all the accounts went away, until they fixed that, we have our first ranked race due to our systems that we've got. So that is going to be on Sunday at 7 PM UK time. Mark that in the calendars. That's going to be exciting. That race is the first one in a while where you will have to sign up before. You'll have to have a certain rank to be able to sign up for it. But if you hold that rank, then you'll have to sign up before you drive. All the others that you see, including this one here, if you're quick enough, are Arrive and Drive, where you can just arrive and, as it says in the tin, drive in the race. Okay, 3 minutes on the clock for practice. Drivers are heading out, which means qualifying is pretty soon. It's a 2-lap qualifying session, which means the drivers have 2 laps to set a time and hopefully not crash. But after that, we will have 2 races, each 15 minutes. We'll have a look at how these drivers handle, well, especially with Kayan, how they handle being close to each other. And as I say, I haven't heard of before. Hopefully they can give us a pretty nice showing, and hopefully they can be at the front. We've got a few rookies in the past few weeks who have been pretty good, actually. The best one that I can remember is Nisty. First race, I think she won her first race, which is mighty impressive. A great showing from her. She's already got a drive for GTJC, GT Junior Series, GTJS, sorry, with the Kauai Racing team, which is ran by C's, one of our media team, and well, no preferential treatment will be given to them, just so you guys are aware. But yeah, hopefully Kayan can be something similar, a really good upshot rookie. Got their lights on currently. As you can see, it is night time, which plays a little bit with the circadian rhythm of the cars in front, of the drivers, I mean. But hopefully we can all stay close to each other and not crash into each other and cause a massive safety car. You see Alonso just overtaking Dolphin out in front as we make our way into the inverse corkscrew. It's a massive downhill section, very vertical, it's several stories high. Doesn't look it, but you can definitely feels it as we see is that Shingo out in front riding the curb. No, it's Alonso. Oh no, it was Shingo absolutely decimating the curb, their car on the curb, and hopefully they don't do that too much. Certainly a ways away from their former glory here a couple of years ago. They're trying to make a comeback today as we watch Eagle. A little bit of damage on the rear, but 30 seconds left of practice, and then the real lap counts arrive. As I said, I am your commentator, that Nath dude. I have a couple race wins myself in this league, so I know what it takes to be at the front. We won't say how I won those races, but at least one of them was pure skill. Yeah. Just watching Eagle in his baby blue, white and grey car. It's a pretty nice paint scheme, that. I rate that pretty highly, yeah. Just going through the club pits now. Well, not through, past. There are 2 pit lanes on this track, and well, we are only using one. That's the end of practice then. Maverick Jog out in front with the fastest time, 1 minute 59.691. Just creeping under the 2-minute barrier, followed by Falonzo and Dolphin. The other drivers didn't set a time, but that is only practice. Nothing really matters in practice. Hopefully, though, we can get stuff going pretty well. It'll be a couple minutes until qualifying starts, and then it's up to the 2 races. We'll be back after this short break. As I pull away, I'll just quickly note Maverick getting a 153.3. Massive showing from Maverick there at the end of practice. Hopefully, he can keep it going into the race. First out of the pits for qualifying, the rookie Kayan, driving just at the pit lane very slowly. You can use a lot more of the runoff there if you're leaving the pits, just because the yellow line is quite so tight. As I said, 2-lap qualifying. 2 attempts to get in a quick time. All right on board for now. The outlap is very important. You want to warm the tyres up, warm the brakes up, but not so much that they get too hot. But at the same time, you don't want to go so slowly you cause a hazard. While these races aren't ranked, you can still get penalty points if you are reckless. So hopefully nothing bad happens there. As we see Janos and Eagle fighting each other on the outlap of qualifying. It is only qualifying, guys. Be careful. You don't want to wreck your first lap. The outlap, if you have to go to the pits, does count as one of your laps. You've got to be really careful here with the system in BeamGP. As we have a look at Janos then. What the pop-up is going to show for Janos. Here we go. Through the corkscrew, we're going to start a lap here with Janos, and let's see how it goes. If he crashes, this lap is done for, and he will have one chance to set a flying lap. Right behind Eagle as we go into the final chicane. Around the final corner to start his first flying lap. Janos behind Eagle. Hopefully we can see some action as we make our way down for the run into turn 1. Massive lock up from Eagle, massive lock up from Janos. They both go wide, and that is invalidating both of their laps. Kayan is the first person to make it through turn 1 legally. The rookie showing the more experienced folk exactly how it's done, as he rides his car all the way around. Eagle gets it wide. He's clipped the barrier. Eagle destroying the front and rear of his car. He's gonna take a tow to the pits and invalidate one of his laps. He's gonna have to try again. Back with Kayan then, Let's have a look at how he rounds these corners, looking pretty stable. He's got the long run now all the way up to the line. Down at the back straight. Remember, the back straight, there is a massive long hill where you gotta be careful. The slipstream is really powerful, but at the same time, if you are not careful, you can go flying. As we have a look at the Polish driver, pressed in the hill that I'm talking about, very dominant hill there, and catching so much to Janus as we make our way to the run-up here for the inverse corkscrew. I won't say the other name that we used for a couple years because I don't want to sound egotistical. As we see Kayan 2 wheels as he goes off track, and well, we'll see if the timing system accepts this lap, but it's not looking too good for him as he comes down the inside of Janus. Janus has to let him by as he's invalidated this lap, but Kayan hasn't. Down behind Janus then as we make our way onto the final lap for qualifying then. Under the bridge, final lap for both of these drivers, and neither of them put a legal lap time in. That's terrible news for both of them. Let's see, is Kayan going to go wide? No. Is Janus going to go wide? No as well. Emin behind, just keeping it in the white lines as well, as we see Kayan getting a bit sideways on entry into turn 2. Sideways through turn 3, a massive drift for Kayan there. Great recovery for the rookie driver. Let's have a quick look at someone else. Let's have a look at Falonzo, who currently has the fastest time here in the qualifying session. He has one more lap to get a faster lap time, but currently he holds provisional pole position. Riding on board now, we can see he's got open air, which probably allowed him to get a bit more downforce through these corners. Maverick then just getting a faster lap time by a second and a half, a 1:53.2, just a tenth faster than what we saw in practice just now. Emin P3 with 3.7 exactly seconds behind Maverick. Dolphin with 14.7 seconds being the gap for their lap. Let's have a quick look at Eagle as they come across to start their first lap. We saw them crashing out for their first lap. Hopefully the timing system doesn't have a hissy fit, but let's just have a look as they come across to start one of their timed laps, what the gap is going to be. It's going to be a plus 12 seconds. That's P4. Hopefully this lap can go a whole lot better. Let's have a quick look at Janus then, coming across the line to finish his second lap. Where's it going to place him? That's P4 for Janus. Kayan finishes P7, unfortunately. That's last on the grid. Emin then also finishing P3. Doesn't improve that much. Only about 50 hundredths of a second, apologies, got there in the end. Next driver to cross the line is Falonzo. Doesn't improve their lap. I believe the next person is going to be Dolphin, who's had a massive whack with the wall at some point. Look at the damage. They enter the pits and, well, abandon their lap. They're going to start P6 on the grid. Let's have a look at the final driver then. It all lays on Eagle as he makes his way down the back straight. 50 seconds left in qualifying. He might just make it across the line in time. It all comes down to this final sector. This part has taken out the most drivers in BeamGP history, well, considered to the rest of the circuit. Very wide. Had to take several stabs at the wheel to keep it going out of the barrier and in the white lines without spinning around. Touching the curb and just popping out a little bit of body wiggle as we go over the inverse corkscrew. Losing the rear end halfway through, but keeps it steady, keeps it stable as we come into the final section of the lap. Is he going to make it to the line in time? Is the system going to let him finish the lap? Currently it's P5. Where's it going to be? That's the end of qualifying. He doesn't finish in time. Oh no! Rotten luck for Eagle. I'm certain he would have been able to hop a few positions in the grid, but that is your qualifying order then. Let's take a quick little screenshot of that. Maverick, Alonso. Emin. Oh, hang on, I didn't put Maverick down. Maverick, boom. Alonso, boom. Emin, ease. This is your grid. I'm just speaking it out. Then it's going to be Janus. And then it's going to be Eagle. Then it's going to be a Happy Dolphin. And then it's going to be Kayan. All right, everyone. Couple more drivers just spawning cars in. I can't quite tell you who. They'll start from the back of the pack. Let's have a look at the grid then for today's race. Race 1, pole position by Maverick Jog, a blistering qualifying session. First the whole time, alongside him P2 Falonzo. Next on the grid, around row 2, we've got Emin making up that final position right at the end, followed by Janos. Unfamiliar territories for him, and well, lights out and away we go. Green flag, great start for all of the drivers. Probably a little bit of a slow start for Emin out there. Let's have a quick look at Shingo. As I said, Shingo used to be a really good driver for the sports cars here in BeamGP. A little bit of contact maybe. Eagle just going a bit sideways. Emin off track, keeps it all right, rejoins safely. Let's have a quick look at the battle for the lead. Oh, Janus down the inside, has a look, doesn't quite make it. As we have a look from the back of Eagle. Lock up from Eagle and Janus right on the inside, bump draft, giving a little bit of a love tap. There is Janus. Let's have a look at Emin, who's looking down the inside. Gets past Janus. Janus being overtaken by Happy Dolphin. Dolphin up to P5 now. He's gonna. They're going to be looking down the back of Emin. Down the back straight we go now. A lot of slipstream. We've got a train of drivers all within slipstream range of each other all the way down this back straight. Expect a little bit of chaos here at the massive braking zone here. The braking zone starts on the downhill of this section. Let's ride on board and have a little listen. Looking out the back for Dolphin. Dolphin looks down the inside, doesn't quite do anything out front. Who's going to have a little moment? Eagle goes out wide. Emin goes out wide. Let's have a look out the back then. How's Dolphin doing? Keeping it all clean, keeping it tucked together, all nice and fine and dandy. That's Emin going wide, and who's that? Falonzo. Falonzo has absolutely ruined his race. That's a massive bit of contact there. Who was involved in that? Shingo? Oh, that's a lot of contact, and that is well, Shingo has a lot of damage for sure. Hopefully not too much damage. Hopefully they can keep going, but that's the whole right hand side of their car destroyed. They don't enter the pits, but hopefully they can keep going. Let's have a look at Kayan then, the rookie, making his way currently a nice steady P5 as we go down into turn 1 again. Emin then. Oh, Kayan a little bit wide. Emin in P4 battling for P2 as Maverick has an astounding lead, 5 seconds over Eagle in P2 as we enter the final 10 minutes of the race. Well, that was crazy. When you say, oh, Emin trying to take out Eagle. Dolphin, apologies, Emin. Dolphin trying to take out Eagle down into the stadium section, goes a little bit wide and is making a real muck of this corner. a really bad exit for the start of the long straight. That's terrible news for Dolphin as we ride on board and see Emin just drifting out. Or Emin's gone a bit wide. Where's Emin going to return to the track? Or not quite, just making it all right for the end. We'll see if they do slipstream side by side with Dolphin now as we make the run up to the hill. Let's have a quick look as we make our way down, getting slipstream. Is he going to go for dive bomb? Chooses not to. Very smart. As Dolphin goes very wide, Emin, Kayan making positions on Dolphin. Dolphin now down to P5. Kayan, a nice suitable P4. Keeping it clean, keeping it steady, and he's working his way up the grid very, very easily. Good showing from Kayan. So we hope to see them joining more often. Or Emin just cutting the corkscrew. Hopefully nothing is wrong with that car. Down the inside, looking Emin, Kayan around the outside. Oh, Emin goes wide, hits the curb, goes sideways, and that is Emin into the wall. Kayan then sideways action with Dolphin. Janus making a few positions now up to P4. Unexpected for him. I don't know where he's come from. Kayan out wide. Oh, Dolphin getting a kick of oversteer, slamming into the side of Kayan. But yeah, see Shingo now making a move on Janus down the inside of turn 2. And around the outside of turn 3 keeps that position. That's Shingo up to P5 now. All happening in the middle part of in the midfield here. Janus down the inside, keeping a defensive position for Emin. Emin's going to look down the inside now into the stadium section. Where's going to happen is Janus going to kick him out. He isn't. Emin getting two again, or spitting out ever so slightly. A little tank slabber gets him. Pretty bad exit as we see Rybred now looking down the inside. Oh, a little drifting moment as we make our way onto the back straight now for Rybred. Looking on board now, we'll see the massive effect of slipstream, hopefully, as we make our way down the back straight. You can see Janus out in front, just being eaten by Emin as we make our way down into the back straight. Janus, Rybred flashing his lights as we come into the braking zone, just trying to use some debatable tactics as we see Emin going very wide. Emin off track, losing 2 positions once more to the battle out in front. Rybred then gained 2 positions. Emin losing 2 positions. Oh, a little battle with Shingo and Kayan out in front. Shingo goes wide and the contact with Kayan, sending Kayan almost into the wall. You don't really see too many mistakes from Shingo like that. Certainly not where he goes quite off track like that. Kayan, where's he gonna end up? Keeps it out of the barrier though, but that was a pretty sideways exit out of the final corner. Rybred right on his inside, right on his bumper as he looks down the inside into turn 1 now. Who's going to be late on the brakes? I think it's Rybred as we go on board with Kayan. Oh, Rybred goes out wide. Contact with Kayan as he comes back on track. Oh, that could be looked at by the stewards as we see now Kayan looking down the inside into turn 2, not quite getting it, staying behind, slotting for P3. Turn 3 as we now have Emin looking around the outside. Kayan closing the door on him, getting a little contact with Rybred out in front. It's a little battle out in front of us between Dolphin and Eagle as well. That's for P2. But we have a little battle here with Kayan and Rybred getting a massive chunk of hit by Kayan as we make our way onto the long straight. 3 wide on the entry. Emin backing out. Oh, where's Emin gone? Rybred way off track, losing 2 positions. He is now at the back of this pack. Luckily keeps it at the wall, but well, he's going to have to work his tires off if he wants any form of sustenance here. Sustenance as in points. No points are awarded, but you know what I mean. He really wants to get some more positions to show to team owners for the higher higher ranked series that he is good enough for a position. Let's have a quick look at the battle out front between Dolphin and Eagle then, as we make our way onto the back straight. Eagle has lost his rear bumper. Was that front bumper? I can't quite tell. On board now with a happy Dolphin, and currently looking as we get slipstream all the way down into turn 1, lap 5 we enter now. The gap between these two drivers here, about half a second. Home race here for Eagle. Hopefully for Dolphin, I mean, hopefully we can see Dolphin getting not just a podium but a P2 would be something special for the American driver there, as he looks down the inside into turn 3. A little bump off the rear for Eagle, keeps it clean, keeps it facing forward, both of these drivers, as Dolphin looks around the outside of Eagle, doesn't quite get it working. Shingo is now joining the battle here. It's a three-way battle for P2. Shingo looking around the outside of Dolphin, Dolphin cutting to the inside, a little bit of contact between Shingo and Dolphin, a lightest touch, but that's not quite as slight of a touch between Dolphin and Eagle out for P1. Let's have a look on board with Dolphin again as we make our way onto the long back straight here. The slipstream is going to go wild between the Eagle and Dolphin. You can see the slipstream bump drafting, the tapping of the bumper between Dolphin and Eagle. Let's have a quick look at the battle behind. You can see Shingo gaining ever so slightly. A battle out in front, looking around the outside is Dolphin. Is Eagle going to hold it off? No, Eagle is going defensive. Now the tap between Dolphin and Eagle. 3 minutes left in the race, and Shingo has caught up drastically. Shingo down the inside of Eagle, who's lost the position to Dolphin from the inside and the exit of the long straight. Shingo doing a little bit of rallycross to keep his car out of Eagle, makes it through on the inside of the corkscrew, and that is now Shingo up into P3, Dolphin to P2, and Eagle has slightly lost out to P4, but still in for the battle here between these three drivers. We're going to watch Shingo, who is making his way all the way up to the front of the pack. Down the inside goes Shingo and Happy Dolphin. Can he keep it clean? No contact between them, as we see Eagle going way off. Shingo, though, doesn't make any fruit from his labour in turn 1. Stays behind, slots behind for P2, turn 2, turn 3. Well, and P2, P3 is this battle here. Down the inside, he's looking for turn 4. Doesn't quite get it working though. Eagle gets right back on the bumper. A lot of black smoke is pumping out the back for Eagle. Shingo looking down the inside, doesn't quite get it for Dolphin. Is still out in P2, but this is a cracking battle for between these three drivers here. Shingo is going to get the slipstream all the way down, also getting black smoke out of his exhaust. Maybe they've broken their oil pans, and well, hopefully they aren't breaking their engines. Hopefully they will survive. Maverick then, lap 6. He's going to cross the line with about 30 seconds left on the clock. He is going to start another lap. Got one more lap of this amazing battle. Shingo down the inside of the long back straight. Gets the position on Dolphin. Is he going to sweep out wide? Is Dolphin going to go for the old switcheroo? He goes for it. He's going to have the inside run for the run up here for the corkscrew. Inside for Dolphin. Outside for Shingo. Shingo makes it work. Better car control, better feel for his car. Makes him go out wide. Dolphin keeps it at the barrier though, as we have a look through the corkscrew here. Dolphin just starting to feel the tyre wear with his tyres, just completely missing his braking zone and going well wide in the corner just before the corkscrew. And this battle is very spaced out. Hasn't ended though, as we have the final lap here for Maverick, Shingo, Dolphin and Eagle. Shingo, Dolphin and Eagle, Emin, Uribred, Kayan and Falonzo, all drivers with penalties. Janus doesn't have a penalty, and neither does Jog out in front. Dolphin just jumping over the gravel on the exit of turn 1. And the battle between these drivers seemingly has cooled off drastically. You can see the black smoke billowing out of Shingo's car now. He's going to want to get that repaired as soon as possible. Luckily, we get a brand new fresh set of cars for race 2. but I think that this race is going to finish just like this, unfortunately. Let's have a look at the person who has led from start to finish, pole position, fastest lap as well. Just coming through the run-up now, it is Maverick Jog making his way all the way to the finish line to win race 1. Not quite finished yet. It hasn't been finalized. We've still got a couple more corners to go. Anything can happen so far, so don't go just anywhere for the final few seconds of race 1. After this, we'll have a little bit of a break, and then we'll have race 2. Emin just making his way up on Eagle, as we see Maverick rounding the final corner and coming across the line to take race 1. A dominant victory for the bronze rated driver there. Hopefully we can get some ranking for Maverick this Sunday with the upcoming ranked race there. Let's have a look at Shingo returning to BeamGP after a couple of years absence. He makes his way through and across the line for P2. Dolphin P3 after all of that, and Emin then comes across to finish P4. Eagle just drastically lost tyre wear on that final lap, and he has just gone backwards as we see Rybread crossing in P5. Always Kayan going to make a little position up on Eagle across the line. That's a lot of damage for Eagle, but he just manages to stay in front of Kayan on penalties, I'm guessing that is. Well then, terrible luck for a couple of these drivers, especially for Eagle. But we will see these drivers just get ready for race 2. Your grid for race 2 then, as it stands for the finishing of race 1. Maverick Jog, an absolutely dominant session so far. Pole of race 1, pole of race 2, fastest lap, and led every lap of race 1. Shingo P2 then, Happy Dolphin P3. Pretty good race, a massive battle between Dolphin and Emin P4. Also a pretty good race last race. Rybread then lines up P5. The American driver will hopefully be getting a few more positions this race. Eagle then, Canadian, just across the border, P6. P7 then goes to Janos, as he had a couple of issues and was a couple laps down at the end. Falonzo then P8, pretty good showing from him. He also lost a couple of laps out then. We have 5 red lights and it's green, and away we go. Pretty good start for everyone. Falonzo and Janus having contact with each other down into turn 1. Let's have a quick look from on board of Janus. just making contact with Flonzo, and Happy Dolphin is round. Contact with Shingo, and that is not what you want to see from your one of the drivers here. Turn 1, contact with Shingo, who's down the inside of Maverick Jog. Something's happened with him. Hopefully he can keep hopefully he can get his positions back. Let's have a quick look at Eagle then, who seems to be out in front of the pack. Let's have a look at the back behind him then. We see Falonzo just out behind. Oh, Eagle just keeping in front of Alonso then. Oh, who's that got into the wall? Kayan has got a massive tank slapper. Manages to keep it at the barrier somehow though. Massive luck from him. As we make our way onto the long straight then. We've seen just how powerful Slipstream is on this long straight here, and we've got 3 different trains of cars all the way down here. Emin making his way, slipstreaming Alonso and Eagle as we head into the final corner. The corner after the long straight, not quite the final corner. Not quite going for any moves is anyone, as we see Emin just keeping it clean with Eagle and Flonzo out in front. If you can avoid making contact, then you would at any cost. Down the inside is defensive for Eagle into the corkscrew. You don't want to be defensive here because no one really wants to attack, unless your name is Shingo, who made a pretty ballsy move last race. Still, Emin and Eagle falling behind from Falonzo as their little battle. Oh, is that Eagle sideways? A little bit of a tank slap, a squirrely exit for Eagle out of the final chicane as we make our way now. Under 10 minutes left in the race. Eagle and Emin both have penalties, so does Kayan. And, hopefully it won't impact their races too much. On board then with Emin as he tries to get past Eagle still. Out in front, we see these 2 drivers just losing time to Falonzo then. Just trying to keep it clean, keep it tight, and, survive. Survival is the name of the game, after all. Let's have a quick look at the race winner for race 1, Maverick, who is trying to make his way through the pack. Down the inside on Shingo he goes. Is he gonna make it work? He doesn't quite make it work. He gets the slipstream from Kayan almost, or they're both gonna have slip moments, or Shingo goes out sideways. Makes a great recovery, quick recovery, and he has a slightly slower exit due to that sideways moment, but he's gonna have the slipstream from Maverick all the way down the back straight here. Not quite as strong as Maverick will. Oh, contact with the barrier, loses his mirror. He keeps it going though. Down the inside is Maverick, the race winner last race, and now makes his way up into P6. More positions changing out in the front. That's Eagle getting up to P2, and Shingo is going to look out a move as well on Kayan. Well, Kayan goes out wide, does rally cross in his Pessima Cup car. Shingo down the inside, down around the outside, not quite making it work through the corkscrew. Yanis out in front, just cutting the corkscrew, has an issue, doesn't quite do anything there. He falls down. Maverick Jog is up into P4 then. Race winner last race. He's already winner of last race, started on pole this race, had a moment in turn 1, and he is making his way from last all the way back up to P1 now. P4, make that P3 as he makes his way down the inside of Emin, who went off turn 1 on lap 3 here, and basically just handed the position to Maverick, who has the fastest lap once again. Very dominant showing to Maverick here. There's a little battle still going on between Eagle and Falonzo out in front. This battle though is going to invite Maverick to join. Let's have a quick look then with Eagle. He is going to try and get slipstream from the car in front, which is of course Falonzo. Don't forget, out back there is last race winner Maverick Jog, and he is going to be getting all up and tight. You can guarantee it. down into the corner at the end of the back straight then. Maverick jog right on the back of Eagle. The gap you can see, 0.2 of a second. Maverick down the inside for the run-up. Any contact with the barrier? Any contact with another car? No. Eagle sideways though. Massive lock-up from Eagle. Flonzo's gone off into the gravel. Keeps it out of the wall though, but loses a position to Eagle. Let's have a quick look at Maverick. He's going to look around the outside of the slower car. Flonzo just staying out in front as we make our way into the final chicane then for lap 3. Pardon me. Maverick then behind Flonzo, behind Eagle. Maverick with the fastest lap. Bingo. Somehow losing a position. Hopefully he hasn't lost too much time. Flonzo sideways around on turn 1, drifting on the exit. He falls down from P2 to P3 and he is well out of slipstream range there. On board then with Maverick as he is looking past Eagle. Is looking like an easy overtake and around the outside he goes. Is there going to be contact? Not quite between the two drivers, but oh, you don't want to get much tighter than that, as this battle between these two drivers is letting Flonzo back in. Contact between Eagle and Maverick brings Maverick's car to a complete standstill. That allows Flonzo to get alongside out of the stadium section now. Maverick down the inside, Flonzo around the outside. Emin is also looking down the inside. Eagle then out front. He's going to be giving slipstream to the cars behind, but Flonzo somehow, even though having 2 doses of slipstream from Eagle and from Maverick, is losing out time to Emin behind. Maverick though, he's going to look around the outside. Eagle playing it defensive on the back straight. Now we go into the final turn. They both run wide. Maverick doing the old switcheroo on exit. He gets the inside line through the run-up now. That allows Eagle to slip behind as Maverick gets out into the lead of the race. Hopefully he doesn't ride away like he did before, but I'm not going to put any money on it. So let's have a look at Eagle then. P2, he gets sideways. Flonzo is a little bit sideways, shooting off a bumper. Emin avoiding the slow Flonzo. Doesn't quite make it past on the exit of the corkscrew though. And we see Eagle followed by Alonso, followed by Emin. Well then, 4 minutes left in the race. Lap 5, Maverick then, he's done an absolute belter of a race. Oh, is that Yanu straight into the wall at turn 1? That's completely wrecked his car. That is, oh, that's a write-off there. What a terrible mistake from him. We saw that in the background. And Flonzo goes sideways. Is he going to make contact with Emin? Emin going off. Couldn't quite see that as we get the no textures. Well, hopefully we can get that fixed. But well, Flonzo just making contact with Emin, then Emin going wide at turn 4, and that allows Flonzo back up into P3. Down on the tail then of Eagle, who gets the wiggles out of the long right-hander onto the long back straight now. And Flonzo is not going to have any slipstream. Eagle isn't either. Emin will though. Flonzo, fast exit allows him a better top speed. He gets out in front, plays it down the middle, actually goes to the outside last moment. Is there going to be contact? Oh, Flonzo's gone sideways into the wall. That is another terrible crash, and he's lost steering on his front right, and that is another car sent for the scrap heap. He keeps it going though, gets the engine restarted. Hopefully he can bring it back, but his chances of a podium well and truly scrapped. Just like his car. Emin then down the, well, just behind Eagle. This is the battle for P2 and the final podium spot as well. This is a cracking battle between these two drivers. The two E's on the grid in the pack, and they are both fighting, both with a time penalty. And, well, Eagle looking down the inside, not quite making anything work. Emin just going to the edges of the track. Not quite sure if that was legal or not, but he certainly just made a mistake in turn 1. Down the inside is Emin for turn 3 and P3. And we see Eagle still side by side with Emin as we make our way into turn 4. Emin still down the inside, Eagle on the outside. Turn 5 is going to be swapped around as we enter the stadium section. Eagle's going to be on the inside, and he gets the better line with the old chicane here. A better exit for Eagle, better line, and well, we now on board with Emin get a whole lot of slipstream as we make our way up into the long back straight. All the way down here we are getting slipstream. We're having less drag on our car, which allows us to go faster, and faster is better. All the way up until this section here, where you suddenly need to go from forward to slowing down, braking just at the bottom of the hill. Emin just getting a better exit as we see Eagle having a little lock-up and a little moment on the exit. Emin down the inside on the run-up. Does he get any moments? He doesn't quite get the overtake done as he hands the position back to Eagle here for the corkscrew. Eagle with a bad line, slightly off through the tight corkscrew. He has to slow down more for the apex of the bottom, and Emin just slowing up as to not crash into him. Missing the final apex for the final chicane is Emin. He's going to have to slipstream. Final lap we enter, and the gap between these two drivers about 7/10 of a second, 8/10 of a second, and that is just enough time for slipstream. Let's have a little look at the gap then. This is a visual representation of the gap. Eagle sideways through turn 2, sideways through turn 3, and that is going to allow Emin, Emin to catch up to Eagle. Sorry to any Italians out there. And well, Emin with the slipstream and better feel for the car, better feel for the tires, and the steering gets a little bit of a faster run through turn 4. Turn 5 and 6, stadium section, Emin with a jump over turn 6, and he keeps his car well within the slipstream range as we make our way onto the long back straight again. Then it's a Happy Dolphin very far behind Maverick, who is winning. Maverick then just through the final set of corners. Once again, a pretty lonely race once he made his way through the pack. But unlike last race, he had to make his way through the pack. A little moment in turn 1 saw him go to the back of the pack, back of the field. Only one driver was behind him because they had a massive moment. I think that was Shingo. And well, Maverick made his way back through the pack halfway through the race, got the race win, got the race lead, and from there was uncontestable. Crosses the line to win race 2. Maverick Jog, your 2-time winner here today on Belasco Motorsport Park. Let's have a little look at Eagle, who gets a sideways moment. There's going to be a photo finish between Eagle and Emin across the line. Eagle just out in front of Emin. Terrible luck for Emin. He's still got a podium though, but wow, Eagle getting a pretty good run out on the final corner there to increase the gap just that little bit more. Let's have a look at the rookie then, Kayan. His first race of BeamGP, gets P4 in race 2. Great performance for the rookie there. Shingo just getting P4 on penalties then, as he didn't have any. The returning driver showing the rookies how it's done. Let's have a quick look at Dolphin. They're going to be a few laps back. Have a quick look where they are. Just coming through the run-up now. Janus, Flonzo and Rybred not finishing that race. Commiserations for them. But Dolphin then, they're going to come across the line to get a pretty solid P6. Pretty solid performance from Dolphin then. but someone who has definitely had better than solid performance is Maverick Jog. As I say, fastest practice time, fastest qualifying time, on pole for race 1, led every lap of race 1. Fastest lap of race 1, won race 1. Pole for race 2, fastest lap of race 2, and won race 2. Maverick Jog is your victor of today. Let's just have a look if anyone would like an interview. But that has been an absolute cracker of a race here. If you were dying in the heat, you were bored, you were feeling unhappy, hopefully these 2 races have revitalized some of your happiness and have brought back some joy into this very, very hot and certainly very dangerous days here. Doesn't look like anyone is looking to have an interview, unfortunately. Oh, we do have an interview. I believe this is Dolphin. Are you gonna have a microphone? Oh, we do have a microphone on mute. Hello, Dolphin.
Hello.
Let me just do that. So, you had a pretty unremarkable race 2, and race 1 you were in a couple of battles as well. Well, I haven't seen you in a few races. Must be pretty good to get your gloves back on and get back in the car for the first time in a few weeks. How was it out there?
I was pretty good. I had a good battle, especially with Eagle in the first lap. That was really good. Kudos to him. I think we had a little contact accidentally, but yeah, second race, yeah, it didn't go so well.
Yeah, well, they don't always go your way, but you had a pretty good qualifying. I think you weren't too far away. You certainly made up for it a little bit in race 1. Yeah, anything to note about this this race? Any notes that you're going to take through the weekend? Anything you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the Super Formula Light race tomorrow. I'm going to try and get in that one. And I did get a little flustered at the start of race 2 after I got crashed. I had 5 seconds of penalties by the end of it without battling anybody. So that's something I need to work on.
Yeah, well, you survived race 2 after lap 1. Well, that's got to be something to write home about. You didn't have too many penalties as opposed to some of the drivers out front. Certainly race 1 you had a little better. Tell me about race 1. How did it go for you? You a lot more successful in race 1.
Yeah, race 1 went really well. I was glad I was able to eventually get past Eagle. As I said, they were very good on defense, but I just couldn't quite keep up with whoever finished second. I don't quite remember their name.
Yeah, well, still a lot to learn, but a lot of things to take note of as well. A lot of good things, I'll add. Well done, everyone. That was a happy Dolphin. Thank you. I'll let you go and celebrate.
All right, thank you.
Up next, we have the dominant driver, that is a Maverick Jog. Welcome to the commentary booth, Maverick. Well, I mean, where do I start? You had certainly, I think the only word is dominance out there. How would you sum it up?
Being completely honest, I really surprised myself. I didn't think I had that pace in me until we got to just a couple minutes before the race, to be honest. And I was just putting in laps that I didn't even think could be possible in this car, and clearly they are. And yeah, it was a bit of a shock to myself, but I'm very happy with what I've been able to do. The gaps I've been able to pull, sort of just the consistency as well with the times. Everything's just gone the way I've wanted today. So yeah, very happy.
Well, qualifying, you knocked out an absolute stonking of a lap, a 153.2. As you say, you didn't think that was possible, and then you kept up that pace somewhat in the race one as well. Race one, well, you were pretty dominant there. There was not much to talk about. Race two, though, what happened on lap one?
Being honest, I got a bit cocky. Race one sort of become a bit of a ball fest. I wasn't appreciating the dominance that much at the time, so I pulled over, let everyone pass, so I just gave myself a little last to first challenge. And at times I thought, oh God, this isn't going to work. I thought I was going to die at points. There was a couple of incidents with Rybread and Eagle that could have ended very badly, but luckily they were avoided. And I was able to get to first and then pull, I think it was like 21 seconds by the end of the race. And yeah, I know. And I think I set like a 52.5 as well. I've really shocked myself, to be honest. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, other than absolutely decimating everyone else, but yeah, how else would you sum up this weekend that you've had here? Anything that you're looking forward to?
And a very... Well, my weekend is going to get a bit uninterrupted. On Saturday, I've got Brom, so there's a few races I'm going to miss then. But Formula Lights tomorrow, could attend that, have a bit of a whiz around in that. I think that'll be fun. And looking forward to the 2.4. However, that may be cut short with some modding issues, so we'll have to see if I'm able to do that one. But if I can, I'm looking forward to that one very much.
Well, I've got good news for you. You're bronze rated, and the minimum license for the 2.4 hour is bronze. So you could get some mega license points, not penalty points. You could get your ranking really high up.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be very good, would it?
No, it wouldn't. Don't get any penalty points in that race, please. Oh my. Yeah. Well done. Any final words?
Thank you very much. Just, I'm very happy with how my past races have gone. I think in this period where BeamGP struggled, I've sort of been able to come along to these unranked races and just show what I've got to people. And yeah, it's good to see where I'm at compared to others. And to be fair, help others get quicker as well. I've seen vast improvements in some people across the races. So yeah.
Yeah, well, you've certainly got a lot of potential, and I see you going up to the premium series very quickly if you just keep attending the ranked races. Everyone, you're 2-time race winner and 2 pole sitter, Maverick Jog. Well done.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Fernando. Hello, Fernando.
Hello.
So you had some pretty good battles actually in both races. Certainly with Shingo you had a battle in both races, and I believe the first race you were battling for P2 as well. How did it feel to be quite so high up the grid?
I mean, like, I improved and I feel better to battle with people. Yes, I had bad luck in the 2 races, but it's not a problem for me. Yes, I was a bit bad in the second race when he hit me, but it's okay, it's a race incident.
Race 1, we saw a little bit of contact with you and Shingo. Shingo, I don't know if you know, he's a really dominant driver here in the past. How did it feel racing him? Was it good? Was it bad?
I mean, it felt good, but yeah, it felt good.
I believe I saw race 1 you didn't finish, or race 2 you didn't finish. If you don't mind, what happened?
In race 1, I killed myself 2 times in 2 corners, but I finished and race 2. It was the incident with Eagle, but race 2 was better than race 1, so I am happy with the result of the races.
Yeah, all right. Well, we've got a whole host of events coming up this week. Are you looking forward to any in particular?
Yeah, the Red Bull race.
Yeah, that's going to be.
F3 and
Oh yeah, go on.
yeah, that one. Only the F3 race.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty good one there as well. That's going to be on Saturday. So yeah, all right, everyone. That was Alonso. Thank you. Well, we've had 2 spectacular races here today then. If you would like to join in those races, just head over to discord.beamgp.com, QR code at the end of the stream. Head over to the Start Racing channel and follow the steps there. If you want to watch all the future races live, or the previous races that we've done, youtube.com/@Beam Grand Prix for you. If you want to have a look at the driver ratings, how they've gone over time, beamgp.com and the driver tab is where you want to go. Let's have a quick look then at the upcoming races. Tomorrow we have Super Formula Lights at Yas Marina. That's going to be at 9 p.m. UK time. Tomorrow at 5:30 UK time we have F3 at the Red Bull Ring. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. UK time we've got a 1-hour race, the 60 minutes of the Glen at Watkins Glen. And tomorrow, on Sunday at 7 p.m. we have the return to ranked racing, the first ranked race since the BeamGP issues all those months ago. We have the EWC 2026 Season 2 Race 1 2.4 hours of Spa at none other than Circuit of Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. We've got a packed lineup here this weekend, and well, hopefully you guys can come and join us in one of those. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming on by, and we will see you all next time. Goodbye.